Welcome back, Hollywood Live fans. On today's Fit Club, we talk Facebook, exercise, and yummy, healthy recipes with celebrity lifestyle and wellness expert Jason Rosell. Stay tuned for more.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Welcome, Fit Clubbers. We are back on an all-new episode of Fit Club. I'm your host, Shaka Smith. I'm joined by my lovely guest host, Lydia Callens. TK is out today, but thank you, Lydia, for filling in.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, we got celebrity lifestyle and wellness expert, Mr. Jason Rosell.
What up, baby? Hey, give me some love. Que rico caliente.
I'll take it.
This is your homecoming to the show. It's been a while, but yeah, you've been here before, so it's great to have you back.
Thank you for having me. It's been 3 years since I've been here.
He's one of the OGs.
It looks like you upgraded. Know what I'm saying?
That's the new bells and whistles.
I like it.
Glad to have you back. And we got to talk about yummy, healthy recipes and a bunch of other things you got going on. This guy's always working. But before we do that, we're going to get into some stories, and then we'll get into what's going on.
Let's do it.
So, of course, social media is of the day, and Facebook now has decided they're going to be cracking down on fake health info. We've gotten a lot of pushback. I know we talked about on this show about the vaccination sort of debate and whether the misinformation that was going out was being amplified by Facebook. And they're saying that they're now going to not remove it, but limit the distribution. So, and that's what's kind of worrisome, right?
Yeah.
It's still going to be there. It'll still be accessible. A lot of the vaccination misinformation that was going out were in private groups. So those will still be there, it looks like. So I don't know if it's going to do much good, but at least they're doing something. But I think we need to push for more. What has been your take? You've been in social media forever, you know. Yeah. What has been your take with social media, and how do you get your news as a fitness expert?
I gotta say, believe it or not, my biggest platform is Facebook. I have over 500,000 followers there. About a year and a half ago, that was my all. Yeah. More than Instagram, more than Twitter. Now it's all the way in the bottom. Why? None of my posts get love. None of videos. Even just captions like motivational stuff. And how personally I get more of my news is Twitter. All right? And then where I make, I would say, 40% of my income is on Instagram. Yeah. Right? And believe it or not, I gotta say, 2008. Remember, I don't know if she's too young for this one. Remember
I love him so much.
Do you remember MySpace? Do you remember MySpace? Do you?
I vaguely remember. I think I was wearing diapers.
Oh my God, whatever. Okay, so MySpace, 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
I had close to 2 million followers, right?
Bananas.
And one day, and this is why I tell everybody, do not put all your eggs in one basket. Do not just live on Instagram. Because one day it crashes, just like what happened to me. I went into depression, for God's sake.
Of course,
So imagine like the younger generation, what they're going through. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have a question. Shaka had asked originally, where do you get your source of information for your fitness, right? Yeah. But you're a fitness expert.
Yeah.
So before there was a Twitter.
Before.
Before there was social media, where were you getting your information from? And do you still go to those sources sometime to like do fact checks?
Kind of like my book here, hard copy books. Yeah. Why? Whether it was Lou Ferrigno books that I had, Arnold Schwarzenegger books, how to enhance your body through nutrition, through fitness, workouts, body weight training, obviously weight training, and doing it the old school way, right? Yeah. And believe it or not, sometimes, I still pull out those books, and it feels good to just pick up a hard copy and read it, because I would say 60-70% of the information that's out there, you can't really justify.
Right. Yeah. I think it's regurgitated information. A lot of it's opinionated. Yeah. And just like with the blogs, it's people's opinions. Yeah. However, when people show testimonies like yourself, when you talk about, I was this and this is what worked for me, I think people should really value that. So I kind of have a problem with Facebook going in and like taking over, deciding with their robot what's true and what's not true.
Of course, of course they're using algorithms, so they're not necessarily able to pinpoint what they should be getting rid of and what's kind of blatantly false, and they should be making sure it's taken down. But for better or worse, you know, we're gonna live with it. But I think people forget that Google search is available. Because for me, when I go to Facebook and I read something, I'm like, well, let me Google search that to then see who else is verifying the information. And if it's in some sort of study, now I can really look and pinpoint. Yeah. But a lot of times I'll Google search and it's like on Snopes or it's like a myth. You know?
Like, I like to go to the medical journals. Like I'm old school like that. Like I go way back. So even if I'm reading something, I'm like, where did they get this information? Right. What is their source? But when I see like fitness gurus like yourself, I'm like, I need to see some results. And so if they are the proven package, then usually I'll buy into it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and you also, an advice, and I'm sure we've all gone through this because everyone here has different body types or different genders, right? Yeah. So think about it. What works for one person won't work for the next, right? Yeah. I always tell people, if you're, say, X tall and, you know, this is the type of background you have, it's not going to work with someone that's either a lot taller, a lot shorter, different bone structure. So you have to, you know, I always say, make sure you can relate to your guru, not just mentally or just because he sold you, but make sure that you have a similar story. You want to follow that path.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to affect you in a major way, since like a majority of your audience is in social media and they're going to your page to get health information? Like, are you concerned about it?
No, not at all, because I'm so transparent. Like, people know my story. Like, look, I lived my life with depression for many years, stretch marks, being overweight. It's what worked for me, you know, and I was able, still to this day, to have helped thousands of people. You know, being overweight since I was, you know, 8 all the way to 12, all the way to 21 years old, not happy, right? My formula worked for me and all these people. So, yeah, unless someone is like really tall and already like really skinny and they just want to add muscle, I'm probably not the guru for you. You know? So.
Yeah.
Well, it is scary. 2.38 billion people use Facebook monthly. And according to a 2018 study by the Pew Research Center, 2/3 of U.S. adults go to Facebook for news. So it's like, wow.
I wonder how they're searching for their news. Like, are they going to chat rooms for this?
No, I mean, there's a news feed, and you can look at news on Facebook. I mean, I feel like I had left Facebook before that era. You know?
Literally.
So,
I'm like, I just check my messages.
Who's depending on Facebook for news? But I actually go to Twitter a lot for news because Twitter's a little bit quicker.
It's like instant.
I find.
Oh no, Instagram's not working. What's going on?
Oh yeah.
And so, but I do still like to Google search and double check. But we got a new study that came out that showed Americans, more than 56% are not sure if their lunch is healthy or not. You know, so there's like, I don't know what's going on. And so this is according to, I believe it's the journal, the American Heart Association and Aramark. Aramark is a food supplier, you know, caveat. But they did a survey of 907 people, adult employees, 18 and over, and they found that 77% said they would make healthy decisions in their day if their lunch was healthier, but 56% didn't even know if their lunch was healthy or not in the first place. So there is a lot of evidence to show, at least in this group, that if they were making healthier decisions for lunch, they'd probably be making healthy decisions in the rest of the day, and then obviously overall for their life. What do you do, or what are your tips and tricks for, you got yummy healthy dinners, so I got to figure yummy healthy lunches isn't too far, right? Yeah. So, what kind of tips do you have to know if your lunch is healthy or how to make it healthy?
Well, first and foremost, you got to ask yourself, am I eating whole foods? Yeah. Right? A lot of people go with anything that's instant gratification. 9 out of 10 is not good for you. Let's talk about frozen meals. Sure, calories and even sometimes the carbs are low, but they're either packed with so much sodium, especially if you're trying to lose weight, that's bloat, you know, and I would say, you know, to stay healthy, how do you know? How do you portion your sizes? Palm of your hand, as you know, everybody in this table knows, 4 to 5 ounces of protein, whether, you know, so for you, whether it be tofu.
I got a big hand.
Damn, that is a big hand. And I have some. I'm just joking. No, but it depends on not only how long it is, but how thick it is. So that's how you determine. Same thing with your carbs, right? Your yams, your brown rice. So I would say stick to brown rice, white rice, sticky rice because I like sticky rice. Brown potatoes, sweet potatoes, red potatoes as your carb source. Veggies, anything that's green, red, is always clean and good. And then, you know, whatever protein. Obviously, Shaka is a vegan, so we're going to stick to that. Me, I like lean, grass-fed white meat chicken, un poquito de turkey, un poquito de puerco. You know what that means? It's like pork.
No habla
I know. Subtitles in the bottom. No, but that's how you know, and make sure after you eat, this is how you know if you had a good meal. 2-3 hours go by, you should not be like super like thirsty. You ever notice you eat certain foods and you're like, I need to drink more water because they packed it with sodium, right? So always make sure when you go out to eat, especially, tell them take away no season. I want it clean. Just put the dressing on the side, or you
can do it yourself.
Do it yourself because there's so many healthy restaurants, especially like Hollywood, West Hollywood. Everything's healthy on the menu, but then they pack it with so much extra that you're feeling it.
Yeah, you're not really that healthy.
So
exactly.
What would you tell people are like the best times to eat? So during that lunch period, so that they can really capitalize on it.
I mean, everybody's different, right?
Is it based on like your first meal, your wake up time?
Yes, absolutely. So say you wake up, say 6 o'clock. Most Americans wake up between 5 and 6. Have your breakfast between and 30 to 45 minutes after you woke up. Why? That causes your metabolism to rise. Naturally, you're burning fat, and then you have your breakfast. 2 to 3 hours later, what I tell all my clients, just have a snack, anywhere from 100 to 200 calories.
Yeah.
Why? It just continues the metabolism going. Yeah. And then you do the same thing every 2 to 3 hours. And then, of course, your lunch, your breakfast and your lunch should be a little bit higher in calories, anywhere from 350 to 500, depending on your weight class. If you want more information, visit. But you get it. And now, mind you, let's talk about keto this, paleo diet that.
Yeah, so you're going to have to tailor that for...
accordingly to what your goals are. And unfortunately, a lot of times people think, oh, well, I'm on this diet, which I don't like the word diet. Let's just call it lifestyle. Yeah. And then
I'm on this lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm on this lifestyle. Versus,
catchy.
Or like, oh, I'm just working out all the time so I can eat like this. And unfortunately, as you know, because look how, come on, 1, 2, 3. Look how lean they are, right? My point is, when you look good, you feel good. You gotta always know that food is your best friend or your worst friend, right?
Yeah.
And it's more important than the actual working out. I used to work out 6 days a week for 2 hours at a time. Obsessed. And I was thicker than I am now. I was not happy. I was compulsive.
Yeah, you can't outrun a bad lifestyle.
Right. I like how we have to write these down.
With the lifestyle.
I love these. Distill these quotes.
And what I like with mindful eating too is that you're really savoring what you're having, and you're making that connection with the food. And so you are going to make healthier options when you make a connection with the food.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I try to think of it like, what kind of car am I, right?
Yeah.
So I think of myself as a luxury car.
Yeah.
And so I want to put luxury fuel in my body. And I also think about, well, how many miles am I driving?
Yes.
If I'm not driving that many miles, then I don't need to consume that many calories.
100.
So I eat for what am I doing? If I'm just going to be a couch potato today, I'm not going to eat too much.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to have a full day where I need like a lot of energy, then I'm going to eat a lot.
Yeah, and that goes hand in hand, and I say this to my life coaching clients, outside of the physical clients. You can't be mindful if your mind is full, right?
True.
Write this down.
So when we're overeating, right, and if we're not burning it, like she said, like a vehicle, like a car, right, and you put too much gasoline in it, that is stored and it turns into fat.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't want to use and eat too much energy or have too much in our brain, and then we can't do nothing about it because then we don't have balance.
Yeah.
And our body pays for it.
And so in Yummy Healthy Recipes, are you outlining kind of like your sodium intakes?
Yes. I have, Yummy Healthy Dinners.
Yummy Healthy Dinners.
Yes.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yummy Healthy Lunch.
Yummy Healthy Dinners. Let me properly tell it a Black Hollywood lie. No, so this is my new book. This is actually my second book, but this one just released on Amazon. This one was specifically dinners. Why? Because most people in the world do really good for breakfast and lunch overall. Oh my God, I ate really good breakfast, or I ate really good lunch. But when it comes to dinner, they F up.
They splurge.
Right? They're like with their husband, their wife, their buddies. And they're just saying, I'm comfy. It's my time to enjoy life.
But what I like about this though is with the lunch thing is I think a lot of people, especially workers, the 9 to 5, they actually take their dinner to lunch. The leftovers are lunch. So you're giving people really lunches and dinners.
If they have a good lunch, a good dinner, sets the tone.
Absolutely. So if your dinner's right, you wake up, you feel lighter, you feel brighter. And we'll get more into it because I would say the trick for lunches. Yeah. Just make sure I live with another motto: never hungry, never full. Right? Because as long as you eat and you're able to actively keep going, then you're good. But if you overate and you feel like we say in sluggish, pesado in Spanish, Okay, that's when you know you ate too much.
You mean when you have the itis?
Yes. It's
That's
the same
in
thing.
black.
Same thing with alcohol. Let's talk about that. I drink. I don't get drunk, but I like to drink. You know what I mean? Right when I feel tipsy is when I stop. Right there.
Yeah. Right.
Same thing. Right when I'm starting to feel full, I already know if I want to maintain this physique, I don't want to overdrink. I'm gonna eat munchies later at night. Yeah. Well, me and Shaka done that. But no, you get it.
Healthy munchies.
Yeah. Healthy munchies. Oh yeah. Oh, this guy. Follow him on Shaka Strong. You'll see him with some vegan ice cream. But it's good. And then he's like, genetically, and for only $4.99. No, but
swipe
seriously.
up.
But yeah, swipe up. No, look, healthy lunches. Just be mindful about what you're eating. And if you want more information, check out our website, jasonrosell.com. Shaka, and then Lydia, you got to give them your love. No, everybody watching right now is relating to each one of us in different ways.
Right, right.
So always, like I said earlier, ask who you're getting the advice from. Can you relate to them? And then go from there. Yeah. DM us.
Yeah, right? I think that goes back to the whole Facebook thing. People are sharing their personal stories and what worked for them.
So, but I think some people are just taking it as gospel and just using it right away and not taking it and distilling it and going, okay, I might be different, And
that's, again, people just need to always, question whatever that they're being told or what they read. You should always question it and not take it as face value. Take the time to go read about it from a reliable source.
Yeah. And speaking of taking the time, it turns out the time of day you exercise might actually matter for keeping off weight in the long term.
Okay.
So this came from the study in the journal Obesity, so they know what they're talking about. They know what they're talking about. They are devoted to this. But they looked at 375 people that lost more than 80 pounds on average and kept it off more than 7 years later. So, which is huge. Losing weight, tough, but keeping it off is the big thing. Right. And they found that in that group, 68% worked out the same time of day, and about twice a week. Consistently on average
for that time.
And so the other percentage, the lower percentage, just worked out at different times. Sure. But they also found that those who worked at the same time, they logged more workouts in the week. They logged more minutes per workout, and their intensity in terms of what they were hitting per workout was more. Okay. So it really, for some reason, the time of day mattered as well. Okay. Have you found this with your clients, with yourself? Do you find timing really affects your workouts and your efficiency of your workouts?
Yes and no. And I want to know, what time was that?
It varies for everyone. Basically, for everyone, it ranged as long as they were going at the same time. So they broke it up into a morning. Oh, got it. But as long as they were going at the same time consistently for those years, then they were in the consistent group.
Again, the question she asked earlier, it depends on what someone does for a living. Yeah. I work with people that work at the post office, random hours. I work with flight attendants.
Sporadic.
It's all over the place. Yeah. What has worked for me and a lot of people that have steady 9 to 5 jobs, etc. If your goal is to lose fat, is doing cardio, say on an empty stomach, or on a very light shake. You know what I'm saying? If you want to effectively, just do light fasting or what have you. If you're trying to gain more muscle, it really doesn't matter what time of the day. It goes back to the food, the fuel, right? Are you eating the proper nutrients that are going to fuel your body so you can effectively get toned, lean muscles? Yeah. So that's my take, because I have people that work out at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're in phenomenal shape. Right. So you can't really depict.
But are they working out 3 in the morning every
That's their time.
Yeah. That's their time. Oh yeah. And then there's people that work out. I don't know what time you guys work. Yeah. But like me, I like to work out usually around 4 or 5 p.m.
See, they're saying it doesn't matter the time, but as long as you go the same time every day.
Oh, as long as you stick to it.
Yeah, as long as you stick to your time. But some people go.
I think it's a mental thing. I think that they're developing a healthy habit, and they're carving out time in the universe for this. So they're going to give it their all. Like, they're dedicated. Right. So for you, when you work with your clients, and you noticed a difference when they work out at the same time? Do they stay on that plan longer? Do they give it 100%? Is there a variation in their results?
Overall, yeah. I think it comes down to consistency, right? Consistency in anything, whether it's your career, your body, whatever. It's going to give you more long-term results. Yeah. But then there's always other factors. Yeah. Say you can't work out because you have to pick up your kids at school, or God knows whatever you have going on, or you can't pay for your trainer that month.
Well, yeah, I mean,
there's certain,
if you have the money to pay for it,
everybody has
all levels,
right? And then you have people that what I call essentially drifters. Yeah. they'll train one type of workout and then they get bored and then they go on to something else. Yeah. But it's the same thing with like a serial dater, right? Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother subject, right? And they're like, blonde and blue eyes. Now let me go with a, brown, maybe it's Hispanic tomorrow. Yeah. They're never happy. Yeah. So you got to find what works for you. Yeah. And once you find that, heck yeah, you stay consistent, you're going to see more results.
What about you when you made your transformation? Yeah. Did you find yourself working out at the same time for the same amount of time for a consistent period of time?
I would say so. And I would say for me, what caused me to be in probably the better shape of my life would be body weight training.
Because you could do it almost anywhere.
Yes, because I was getting results, meaning fat loss and gaining lean muscle all in one. Yeah. So when you're able to kill two birds in one stone and you're always on a rush like me, I'm like, oh my God, in 30 minutes I just did this body weight training. Yeah. Boom. So that's what got me more on the tighter look that I wanted, because before I was more like thicker Ronnie Jersey Shore, 175 pounds, which is, my neck was up to here. Don't get me wrong, my arms are twice as big, but it didn't look right. If you're under 5'10", you don't want to, it's too much. And that also was breeding a lot of my insecurity. And I tell people, don't try to overcompensate. Yeah. Be you. Be the best version of you, and once you find that love within yourself, other things and other people are going to come to you naturally.
Of course.
I mean, hello, my ex was 5'11". You think she woke up one day and said, "I want to go with you"? She's like, "Oh, I want to be with you." You know what I mean? She went like this.
I love it.
Oh man,
feel good on the inside, look good on the outside. It seems like a song. Feel good on the inside, look good on the outside.
And you do feel good when you exercise. Yeah. But this is a crazy study, so I got to hear your take on this, because I was like, maybe they're saying that exercise makes people more happy than money. So exercise makes people more happy than money. This is a Yale and Oxford study that was actually published in The Lancet. 1.2 million Americans. They looked at 1.2 million Americans. Say that one more time. So it's
one more time. Say
1.2 million Americans. And they looked at emotional moods and physical activity, and they found that the physically active person was just as happy as a sedentary person who was making $25,000 more. So there is a limit. It wasn't the guy making $50,000 more or $100,000 more, but $25,000 more. So
did they look better than that person?
I don't know. I don't think the study came with pictures.
Were they more fit than that person?
I will say this. There was a study, and I can't remember, this is not too long ago, maybe less than a year ago, that I think it was 90 or 89% of people that were filthy rich, all of them, the 89% were very overweight, or they had high blood pressure. They were messed up. They were messed up.
And you wonder sometimes if the money maybe thought, oh, I got enough money, I don't need to work out anymore.
Yeah, it overcompensates.
And then they realize, exactly. And
are they just living their lazy best life? They can't get up to turn the channel or wash dishes or burn calories doing this.
That's
stuff.
A choice. Yeah.
Someone's feeding them, making great meals.
100%. I had a friend that he was blessed with, he inherited money. We'll leave it like this.
So nice.
He went from being in pretty damn good shape, and he got settlement, yada yada. This guy became obese like within a year.
Wow.
He said, why do I need to grab the remote?
He's still
I have three maids. Yeah. I have XYZ. Point is, a lot of people, they have this, it's like an ego trip, and the little do they know, health is your wealth.
Everything. Right? Health is your wealth.
And that's everything. Mm-hmm. All of us can be millionaires right now. When you're in that deathbed, right?
That's
it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter. Right. And I tell people, look, do anything you'd want to do, but in balance, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm from Europe, A lot of people sometimes question me like, oh my God, you drink alcohol sometimes? You'll have a cigar with Arnold. I've had a cigar with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was like, yeah, I will. Yeah. I don't inhale, but I will. Right? My point is, have fun. Yeah. Right. Don't go extreme.
Yeah. Find the balance.
Have pizza. Don't eat 6 slices. Have one or two.
Yeah.
Just
everything with the balance. Well, I can say that I feel super rich. all the time.
Hell yeah.
All the time.
Hell yeah. Right?
And I think for me as a woman, right, we got our hormones going. We're crawling up the wall because we're not having sex. And I'm just saying, like, so for me, exercise balances out my sanity. Like, it hides my crazy and it makes me happy.
You're crazy.
So, like, I tell people, like, I don't even exercise for the aesthetics. That comes. I exercise because it makes me feel good.
That's
because
right.
it takes the bitch out of me.
That's right.
Well, speaking about your hiding your crazy, both of you have the reality show background and having to grow up in that sort of spotlight, or not grow up, but kind of have that spotlight on you. How did fitness center you in those moments?
It made me, I think, a better contestant. I think it kind of gave me that edge mentally plus physically over the other people.
Yeah, and you were on, and I don't think I mentioned to you, but you were on The Hero with The Rock. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's got to be
it was real physical.
Intense.
Yeah, it was intense. So I was like, oh, I'm better than everybody.
Right.
You know, I had that mindset, but, you know, I didn't win.
And for you, how did fitness sort of like center you?
I got to say, I was an old school reality veteran, so to speak.
Yeah.
I was drinking all the time. I was partying all the time.
That's when they were really feeding the contestants.
Right.
Oh, yeah, they were feeding us. You know, I love New York. I love money. I'm hanging out with all the Flavor of Love girls. Rock of Love. I mean,
When did you work out?
Believe it or not, because I was young. I was really young. I was, 24, 25. I was doing these.
But you're only 30 now.
Thank you. She's amazing. We got to keep her.
Yeah.
Sorry. Listen, I worked out and I ate and I drank. So when you're younger, you burn calories. And I was in Mexico, 118 degrees. I was sweating off all the Yankee Doodles.
All the alcohol.
Yeah, all the alcohol was just coming out. But no, I think fitness is, for me, and I think I speak for all of us, is our savior in different ways. Mm-hmm. Whether it's for stress, whether it's for happiness. Mm-hmm. And I can definitely say when you are A, in peace, B, living happy and feeling good and looking good, it's better than keep your money.
Yeah.
I'd rather make a decent living financially and live this life, because this is a Rolls Royce, this is a Bentley, and this is a Porsche.
Hey.
Right?
Right.
We don't need. It's like I tell people. You ever notice people walking down the street? You go to nightclubs, they got all the chains, they got all the Gucci this and this and that. But what happens when, say, I can go walk in with a $40 outfit and I'll get more attention?
High five.
It's called security, and it's called not trying so hard because you're hiding, right? It's the same thing. Yeah. The person that, when we were talking about earlier, that they choose not to work out because they're so, they have all this money, and they're really not happy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people that I've worked with in the past, they suffer from a lot of issues because they have so much money, they don't know what to do with it. Nothing brings them happiness anymore. I've had straight men and straight women turn to a different, like, literally say, oh, one day I like women, one day I will like men, because they're unhappy. They're not sure what they want. They get so much money, and they're like, oh, I've had it all. What now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think, though, really it comes down to a balance of, like, the hormones and the dopamines that are released. So if you're not releasing all these toxins in your body and you're not, like, exercising, you're going to hold on to that, and that's what's going to make this unhappiness, because you feel sluggish, you feel unhappy, you feel depressed. So really, I think that's the key to it. Like, exercise is good for everything in your body.
Yeah, or you're going to turn to, like I did, food. Mm-hmm. Right? Become a food addict like I was. Or there's people that turn to drugs.
Right.
And a lot of people that are filthy rich, they're overweight because they eat whatever they want. They're like, oh, I can get any girl.
But wait a minute. Is this all in this book?
And that's huge, too.
Is this all in this book?
No, this is just about dinner.
No, exactly. Well, I'm like, who
not lifestyle.
This?
It's not dinner and lifestyle. Yeah. That's his third book. Fourth book. Excuse me, fifth book.
Yeah. Are we coming out with a dinner and lifestyle book? Or like, how do people, get some of these nuggets of information from you?
The nuggets of information, literally, it comes through years of experience. Forget about just social media, television shows. It's more about I connect with the audience and everyone watching by knowing there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
So he's saying if they tune into you, they're going to get these nuggets every time they tune into
100%.
you.
You're going to get fitness nuggets more. It's my mentality is mind, right, body tight.
Yeah, like that. Mind, right, body tight.
Yeah, that's what my company stands for, right? And you can have anything in the world, but if this isn't right and it's not connected to this, the rest is going to be polluted, right? Yeah. Do you know how many gorgeous, good-looking girls, and I'm sure you meet tons of guys, good-looking, and there's they're rotten inside.
Yeah.
What we say in Spanish, podridos. They're just
podridos.
Yeah, the next time you see this hot guy and he's like, "Hey, Lydia, how are you? Can I take you out and go choo choo?" And you're like, "Podrido, podrido, you son of a bitch." No, but
Telemundo voice.
So no. What I'm saying is, yes, this book. Let's talk about this book a little bit. I came with a solution for people that are super busy, that are just not very creative because they've been working 8, 12 hours, whether they're single, they have kids, married. I gave a solution to have delicious meals in under 10 minutes. Nice. Most of the meals are under 300 calories. Wow. All right, you don't have to be a chef, you don't have to be a cook. You just have to want to eat, like delicious foods, and this is for someone that wants to lose weight, that wants to feel great. And I made the book servings of one. And you're saying, well, what if I have a family? You just double it up or triple it up. Yeah. Do you know how many books are out there? They're yay big. Right? This is not a big book. It has 16 recipes purposely. Yeah. I give the audience, the world out there, 2 weeks worth of my favorite yummy dinners, and after the 2 weeks are up and you get a weekly cheat meal, you do it again, and I give you a full month worth. You're going to lose weight. You're going to feel great. Now, if you're saying, well, I want to gain more muscle, then you just add more protein. I break down everything with the macros. All right?
Do you encourage working out to gain more muscle, like with the increased protein? Because, some people, they don't know fitness, so they'll just increase their protein, and then they'll store as fat because they're not adding that part.
This specifically, because most of my results came from eating better, and the dinners, along with my clients, have given me success. I don't really break down fitness too much. And I do that. And at the end of the book, of course, you can get my fitness programs, XYZ. But I wanted to prove a point that you can still have delicious dinners without feeling, oh my God, I just want to eat a little more. Okay. Why can't I have it?
That was my question, though. But wait a minute. When you say delicious, you're Hispanic, you like the flavor, but you're like no sodium, So how do we get the flavoring and like...
Yes.
That real, that down home, that ethnic flavoring that we like. Yeah.
What we call, let's do this at the same time. I'm going to say caliente rico. We're going to do it on 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Caliente rico. Rico. Okay, so let's take rico. Es muy rico. You're like, ooh.
Hey, I want to eat that.
No, how do we make a caliente rico? So if we're going to have low sodium foods, all we're going to do is we're going to put low sodium condiments, right? So there's low sodium salt out there. Most people don't know that. A lot of people know that there's Mrs. Dash. But let's just forget about that. Let's just talk about natural stuff. Oregano, minced garlic, right? One of my favorite ones in the book is spaghetti butternut squash, right?
Yeah, that's dope.
So it's 280 calories, serves one, 4 to 5 ounces of chicken.
Easy to make.
Yeah, you put the spaghetti squash with a little bit of minced garlic, heat that up for about a minute or 2. Then you slap on the chicken, cook that up for about 10 minutes. Then you add spinach on top. And in just 10, 11 minutes, you're sitting there saying, caliente, rico, right? Nice. No, and I have shrimp linguine. Nice. I have just different meals, like even lettuce, turkey, tofu, and chicken wraps, which are so good. Good. Egg salad wraps.
And this seems pretty easy to make too.
Yeah. It's for people. Yeah, it's for people, everyday people that are just saying, "Why am I not losing weight? I have a trainer, or I'm training all the time, and this and that." It's because your dinner's messing up. Yeah, and that's why I call it yummy, healthy dinners for the people that are always in a rush, are not creative because they're too tired, and just
they just don't know.
They just don't know. Yeah. And this is for someone that literally does not need to know how to cook, doesn't need tons of utensils, lot of skills.
I love this because I think a lot of people are in that situation of having little time and wanting to cook healthy and not wanting to go get fast food.
Especially if they have family obligations or they work long hours. Now, do you have cutoff times in which they should consume the meals? Do you talk about that at all in your book?
I break down very simple and effective, meaning you want to make sure you have your dinners at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, ideally, right? Yeah. So again, but because it's so light, even if you ate this an hour and a half before dinner, it's not going to affect you in a bad way.
Well, I always tell people it doesn't matter the time you eat. As long as you burn the calories in the day, it doesn't matter the time you eat.
If you do it like in the day, the next day, because remember, you eat dinner, you're going to bed.
No, so if I burn 1,000 calories at lunch and I'm eating 300 calories at night,
it's a
I'm
balance.
still gonna wake up.
Right, it's a balance.
Feeling light. Right.
So it's not those people that consume 5,000 calories for breakfast and another 10,000 calories for lunch, and then I'm going to do another 8,000 for dinner.
That's when you gotta watch when your dinner.
And then I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm only going to do a brisk walk. For my exercise for the day.
Yeah. So we just basically we make the carbs so low at night, and I give so many solutions so people don't have to think. They save money from having to eat out all the time. Do you know how many people I talk to, even clients, I'm not going to say any names, they're like, oh yeah, I went to Pollo Loco. Oh yeah, I went to Chipotle. And they got healthy choices. Or even, let's talk about McDonald's now, or all these fast food restaurants.
Are offering a healthy
They
menu.
have healthy this, healthy that. Healthier. But you're spending more money.
Yeah, and you're not full.
Not cool. Yeah. Let's talk about Trader Joe's. For $2.99, you can get 5 or 6 servings of spaghetti, butternut squash, one of the recipes here, right, which serves a few people for $2.99.
Think about that.
Right? You put a little bit of fresh baby spinach, a chicken cutlet, chicken tender. You have your own meal for under $3.
And guess what else?
And
you got leftovers.
For your yummy healthy lunch, right?
Exactly.
For your lunch. And then for lunch, what do? We add a little bit of carbs.
Yeah.
Because you need carbs for energy.
For the energy.
And to go in the car and go, choo-choo.
So I've known you forever now, it seems. We had Caliente Fitness, we had Exercise. Of course, we have this book. And I know you speak a lot and you do some motivational stuff. What else do we have going on, or anything else down the pipeline coming up?
Yes. Well, there's another book, and it's funny you said the key words earlier, that I've been writing. It's probably going to come out at the end of this year, and actually releasing in early 2020. Is called Keeping It Off.
Nice.
And Keeping It Off is how I was able to lose weight but keep it off, and actually being able to take off my shirt. The reason, the whole moral about this is take Jared from Subway, or millions of people.
Let's not use him.
Well, let's use him. Horrible. But you get where I'm going. Yeah. A lot of people can lose weight, but they'll never take off their shirt. No. They did it, and then they gained weight back. I mean, you've seen all
because of the body shaming.
Well, I think there's confidence issues too.
Well, I'm saying because their body has, remnants of when they were overweight that they can't get rid of.
That or people that go on extreme diets and then they gain it all the way back, right? So I wanted to break down more so, not just like here we go on one angle books, or I have a smoothie, snacks, and desserts books. This is all around how to change your lifestyle from the inside out.
So we are going to get some of these nuggets now.
You're going to get a lot more. And nothing besides that, when I'm not doing fitness and eating healthy, excuse me, I do a lot of relationship coaching. And I say that with pride because when you're not in a good relationship with yourself, you can't have a good relationship with your food, your partner, anything or anyone. Yeah. And when
That's powerful.
When you have self-love. And a lot of people say, oh, self-love, that means you're cocky and this and that. So no, it's understanding yourself. It's knowing what your worth is. It's knowing what your deal breakers are, what you should have, what you shouldn't have, and keep an open mind, right? And if you can have this with your relationships, especially your food, your partners, your life is aimed to be higher and greater than anything else.
Yeah, and I think we eat according to the way we feel about ourselves, and I think we eat according to the way we feel about others. So if you work on the relationship with yourself and other people, you're going to be working on that food relationship too.
Absolutely.
I like that.
And you're going to bring more. You're going to attract more. A lot of times when people want to work with me, I would say a good 50-60% I turn them down. And the reason why, because they want instant gratification. Yeah. And instant gratification doesn't give you long haul results.
Never.
That's it.
Well, we got a little segment before we go. This has been awesome. But we got a little segment called Fit Club 5. And actually, both of you are going to be in the hot seat.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I'm going to ask you, nice. I'm going to ask you 5 rapid fire questions. And first thing that comes to your mind. So here we go.
Who's first?
You'll be first, and then...
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Last person you texted.
Shaka.
Shaka?
Did you text me?
I was like, open the door.
Dream dinner guest. Alive or dead?
Oprah.
Will Smith.
Will Smith?
Yeah.
Oprah.
Nice.
Love her.
Your last meal you just ate.
Oh, coconut curry. I made it from scratch. Yes, so good.
Homemade barbecue sauce with chicken cutlets and sweet potato.
Nice. Hopefully I get some of that in the book. What is your favorite junk food?
Red vines.
Oh, nice.
Oreo cookies. Was then, it still is.
It used to be my favorite junk food. I was actually telling you earlier, after I went vegan, my taste for sugar went down.
Really?
But I used to be able to eat a whole thing of those in one pack. Now I can only have like 5 or 6 at a time.
Yeah.
And the last question, if you were on death row, what would be your last meal?
Fried Popeye's chicken, extra crispy with buttermilk biscuit.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I have to go all the way out.
He's got his go-tos. He got his go-tos.
I don't want to die.
Well, that's a death row.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
I'm going to die either way, right?
Yeah.
Well, if they told you you're going to die, what's your last meal?
A box of chocolate from C's Candy.
Really?
Makes me happy.
Just crying as it's almost over. How did this happen? Oh, guys. Well, thank you for guest hosting.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
This was so much fun.
And of course, thank you for coming back. This was amazing. Left some great nuggets of wisdom. I want to see this other book. We got to see the other book. I'm going to get the advanced copy.
For sure.
But again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I love you both, and I can't wait to get more rico.
Yes. Caliente. What's up, guys? As always, I'm your host, Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong. Miss Lydia Callan, where can they find you?
You can find me at The Ego Is Dead, one word. That's my handler for Instagram.
And where can they find you?
Now, for limited edition, you can find me at Jason Rosell Live or go to my website, jasonrosell.com.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, that was so great.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
Expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.